All right, so today we're going to do a deep dive into e-commerce.
Okay.
But not just like e-commerce in general, but we're really going to zero in on a specific product page.
Okay.
And we are on Amazon today, and we're looking at the Bose TV speaker.
Interesting.
And so think of it this way. You're looking to boost your TV's audio. Give it a little more oomph. And you land on this page.
Right.
What's really going on beyond just the, basic product information?
Yeah, what's the story behind the page?
Exactly. That's what we're going to be kind of dissecting today.
These pages are so fascinating because they're so sophisticated now.
Oh, yeah.
They're really like these ecosystems designed to influence your decisions.
Yeah.
As a buyer.
Yeah, for sure. So let's start with the first thing that everybody sees, right? That's that price. And we see $199.
Okay.
Which is marked down from $279. So that's a 29% savings.
Wow.
Now, is this a legitimate deal or is there some marketing magic at play here?
Well, discounts are incredibly powerful tools. Psychologically, you see that price slashed and you suddenly feel this urgency like, oh, I don't want to miss out on this.
Oh, yeah.
And Amazon in particular is really known for using dynamic pricing.
Oh, really?
So that means that those prices fluctuate all the time based on a variety of factors.
Oh, right.
It could be your browsing history,
Right.
competitor pricing demand at a certain moment.
So it's not just like, oh, this is the sale price.
Right.
It could literally be different for different people.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, so how can we tell if a deal is truly a deal?
So there are tools out there like camelcamel.com. Have you heard of that?
No, I have not.
It's a great website.
Okay.
You can actually put in a product on Amazon and see its price history over time.
Oh, wow.
So it'll show you like the highs and lows. And you can get a sense of, is this discount really as impressive as it seems?
That's great. Yeah. I need to check that out.
That's a good one.
Okay, so right below the price, we see another option that says used like new.
Okay.
And that is going for $179.
Interesting.
Part of me is tempted, but is buying refurbished electronics generally a good idea?
It can be.
Okay.
A lot of times these items are thoroughly inspected.
Right.
Maybe repaired if they needed to be, and they might even come with warranties.
Yeah, right.
But the key is to buy from a reputable seller.
Right.
And to really scrutinize what does new actually mean.
Okay.
What is their return policy? Are there any buyer protections in place?
Right.
These are all questions you want to get answered before you commit to that purchase.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so speaking of protection, there's a whole section on this page dedicated to adding protection plans.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple of options. There's a 2-year, a 3-year. There's even one that covers all your Amazon purchases monthly.
Wow.
Are these worth considering?
These protection plans, they kind of play on our desire to avoid risk.
Yeah.
Especially with electronics.
Especially with electronics, yeah.
It's essentially a form of insurance. And, whether it's quote unquote worth it really depends on your personal risk tolerance.
Okay.
And the product's track record.
Okay.
Some gadgets are just more prone to issues than others.
Right. That makes sense.
Okay.
Okay. Then we see this little note under the price that says, arrives before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So they're definitely playing on holiday shopping anxieties, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
E-commerce platforms thrive on that sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Especially during peak shopping seasons.
Yeah.
It's like a little reminder, hey, time is ticking.
Yeah. Better get on that. Okay, so let's move beyond the deal itself.
Okay.
And into the Bose TV speaker.
Right.
What is this thing?
Right.
The product page, it boasts wide, natural, sound-enhanced dialogue and simple setup. Can you help us cut through this marketing lingo?
Sure.
What does that really mean?
Well, these are all carefully chosen terms that are designed to evoke a specific feeling.
Okay.
Right? When you see wide, natural sound, it suggests an immersive experience. Enhanced dialogue that's targeting a very common complaint with TV speakers.
What's that?
People can't hear the voices.
Oh, right.
So this is saying, no, this will fix that.
Okay.
And then simple setup that appeals to all of us
Oh, yeah.
who want convenience.
For sure.
We don't want to be messing around with a bunch of wires and
Exactly.
complicated instructions.
Plug and play.
Exactly.
Okay, and we also see that it's a Bluetooth TV speaker.
Okay.
Which means you can stream music podcasts, connect multiple devices.
Yeah.
It's becoming more than just a simple soundbar, isn't it?
Exactly. Soundbars are evolving.
Yeah.
They're becoming these full-fledged entertainment hubs,
Yeah.
Seamlessly integrating with all our devices.
Right, and I love how they highlight these little details, like the compact size. It's just over 2 inches tall.
Oh, wow.
An included optical cable, and the option to add a Bose Bass module.
Nice.
So they're really kind of, offering a customizable experience here.
Customization is key these days. You know, tech companies recognize that people want devices tailored to their preferences and their needs.
Right. Okay, so speaking of which, let's talk customer reviews.
Okay.
The Bose TV speaker has a 4.3-star rating based on over 11,000 reviews.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot of feedback.
Yeah.
So what can we learn from the collective wisdom of the crowd?
Well, you know, customer reviews offer this really valuable peek into real-world experiences.
Okay.
So we can go beyond that polished marketing spiel
Yeah.
and get a sense of what are the strengths and weaknesses of this product.
Okay, so let's dive into some specific reviews because some people, they praise the sound quality.
Okay.
Others mention connectivity issues. We see rave reviews about the easy setup.
Uh-huh.
Yet some found it frustrating. How do we make sense of these contrasting opinions?
Yeah, well, that's where critical thinking comes in.
Okay.
And remember, every user has a different context, different tech skills,
Right.
different expectations.
Right.
So when you're looking at these reviews, it's helpful to look for patterns.
Right.
Are multiple people reporting the same issue?
Okay.
Is there a particular feature that is consistently praised or criticized
Right.
that can really help you kind of weigh the feedback?
One review that really stood out to me was from R. McDonald,
Okay.
and they both praised and criticized the product.
Interesting.
They highlighted the good sound quality, but also pointed out the lack of bass and the outdated Bluetooth version. It felt like a very balanced perspective.
Yeah, that's a perfect example of a well-considered review.
Okay.
It highlights that even a highly rated product
Yeah.
can have drawbacks,
Right.
depending on what you're looking for.
And your needs, right?
Exactly.
There was another review from a customer named G. Merkel who mentioned replacing their old Bose system
Okay.
because their new TV only had an HDMI-ARC connection.
Right.
And that just made me realize how fast technology evolves.
It does.
Things become obsolete so quickly.
And sometimes those advancements, like HDMI-ARC in this case,
Yeah.
can lead to these compatibility challenges
Right.
if you're not careful.
So you got to make sure all your devices can talk to each other.
Exactly. It underscores the importance of understanding the specs
Right.
and making sure that your devices will play nicely together.
Before we move on, can you explain what HDMI-ARC is and why it matters?
Sure, HDMI-ARC, that stands for Enhanced Audio Return Channel.
Okay.
It's the latest version of HDMI, and it allows for much higher bandwidth audio transmission
Okay.
compared to the older versions.
Okay.
So that means better sound quality, especially for those fancy formats like Dolby Atmos.
Okay.
So if you have a newer TV with EARC and you're really looking to get the best possible audio, you want to make sure your Soundbar or speaker system is compatible.
That's really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got pricing strategies, we've got reviews, and we're starting to get into the technical nitty-gritty.
Yeah, we're going deep.
Where do we go from here?
Well, let's delve deeper into those customer reviews. You know,
Yeah.
they can tell us a lot about the actual user experience.
Yeah, for sure. I did see a bunch of reviews that were praising the ease of setup. Some even claimed that they got it up and running in under 10 minutes,
Wow.
which is pretty appealing, you know, in our fast-paced world.
Oh, yeah. Convenience is huge these days.
Right.
People want plug-and-play solutions, especially when it comes to home entertainment.
Nobody wants to be, you know, reading instruction manuals for hours.
Right, exactly.
And then there were also several reviews that were specifically praising the sound quality,
Okay.
describing it as crisp and clear with dialogue that's easy to understand.
Uh-huh.
That seems to be kind of a consistent theme with Bose products, right?
Yeah, I mean, Bose has definitely cultivated a reputation for audio excellence,
Okay.
particularly when it comes to clarity and a balanced sound signature.
Okay.
You know, they really focus on reproducing sound accurately
Mm-hmm.
without overemphasizing bass or treble.
Now, I did notice that some reviewers kind of saw that balanced sound as a negative. They were wishing for more bass,
Yeah.
and, you know, sound that could really fill the room.
You know, you've hit on a really crucial point here.
Okay.
Sound preferences are incredibly subjective.
Yeah.
Some people crave that deep rumbling bass.
Right.
Others prioritize clear vocals and those subtle details.
Yeah.
It really all comes down to your listening habits and your environment.
Right. So it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
Exactly.
Which brings us back to that option of adding a Bose Bass module.
Right.
A few reviewers did mention doing just that.
Uh-huh.
You know, so it's like they're giving you the power to create your ideal listening experience.
Precisely. It's about customization and scalability.
Okay.
You start with the basic TV speaker, and then you have the flexibility to add that Bass module later.
Yeah.
If you decide, you know what, I want more power.
I want more oomph.
Exactly.
It's a smart way to cater to a wider range of preferences and budgets.
And speaking of budgets.
Okay, let's talk about value for money. Because some reviewers, they felt like the Bose TV speaker was a steal, especially at that discounted price.
Okay.
But others thought it was overpriced for what it offered.
Yeah.
So how do we reconcile those different views?
Well, perceived value is always relative.
Right.
It depends on your individual expectations, your needs, and what you're comparing it to.
Right.
In audio equipment, you often get what you pay for.
Okay.
But it's really crucial to consider your use case.
Okay.
If you're simply looking for a basic upgrade to your TV's built-in speakers, the Bose TV speaker might be a perfect fit.
Okay.
But if you're an audiophile,
Right.
seeking a truly immersive home theater experience, you might want to explore other options.
So those negative reviews, even the ones that mention product defects, can actually be really helpful in making an informed decision.
Absolutely.
Right.
They provide valuable insights that you wouldn't get from marketing materials alone.
Okay.
You know, you get a glimpse into real-world performance.
Yeah.
Potential quirks, even possible issues you might encounter.
I saw one review that mentioned that their Bose TV speaker stopped working after just a month of use.
Oh, no.
That's got to be so frustrating.
Yeah. Unfortunately, even reputable brands can have product defects.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to understand the warranty and return policies before you purchase anything.
Yeah, it also highlights the importance of buying from reputable sellers.
For sure.
Who stand behind their products.
Absolutely. And speaking of reputable sellers, remember those protection plans we talked about?
Oh, yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's another layer of decision-making.
It is.
For the consumer.
Yeah.
Like we talked about how those plans can provide peace of mind.
Right.
But they also add to the overall cost.
They do.
So it's a trade-off.
It is a trade-off, and it's one that each individual has to weigh. Based on their own risk tolerance and budget.
Right.
Some people are happy to pay a premium for that extra layer of protection,
Yeah.
while others prefer to take their chances.
Yeah, it's all part of navigating this increasingly complex world of e-commerce.
Exactly. It highlights how these product pages have become far more than just points of sale.
Right.
They're information hubs.
Yeah.
They're battlegrounds for consumer psychology. And they're really reflections of our ever-evolving relationship with technology.
I think this deep dives into this Bose TV speaker product page has revealed so much more than I initially expected.
Yeah, me too.
Like, we've gone beyond the surface. We've uncovered pricing strategies. We've analyzed customer reviews. We've even explored technical aspects like HDMI-ARC.
It's been a fascinating journey.
It has.
We've seen how a single product page can offer a wealth of information about consumer behavior marketing tactics and that constant interplay between technological advancements and user experience.
Before we wrap things up, let's circle back to that outdated Bluetooth version.
Okay.
Mentioned in one of the reviews. Could you explain a bit more about the different Bluetooth versions and why it matters?
Of course. So Bluetooth technology is constantly evolving.
Right.
Newer versions generally offer improvements in terms of sound quality, range, and reduced latency. For example, Bluetooth 5.0 and above support higher bitrate audio codecs, which means you can enjoy better audio fidelity, especially if you're streaming music from a high-quality source.
Right.
Older Bluetooth versions might have limitations in terms of sound quality, and they could be more prone to dropouts or connection issues.
So if someone is really serious about audio quality, they should pay close attention to the Bluetooth version supported by a speaker or soundbar.
Absolutely. It's definitely something to factor into your decision-making process.
Okay. I think we've explored just about every nook and cranny of this Bose TV speaker product page.
I think so.
So what's the key takeaway for our listeners, the potential buyers out there?
I think the biggest takeaway is that you have the power to be an informed consumer.
Right.
You know, we've seen how much information is packed into a single product page.
There are reviews, specs, marketing tactics, and even hints about broader tech trends. You know,
it's almost overwhelming when you think about it.
It can be, but that's why it's so important to develop those critical thinking skills. Don't just take things at face value.
Right.
Dig deeper, question assumptions, compare, contrast, and ultimately make the choice that aligns with your individual needs and priorities.
So the next time I'm like browsing online, I shouldn't just be focused on the product itself.
Exactly. Think about the whole ecosystem. The pricing, the reviews, the subtle ways they're trying to influence your decision. And arm yourself with tools and knowledge. Use those price trackers. understand the tech specs and learn how to read between the lines of those marketing buzzwords.
This has been such an eye-opening deep dive.
It has been.
We started with a simple Bose TV speaker product page.
Right.
And we ended up exploring everything from dynamic pricing to the evolution of Bluetooth technology. It's amazing how much you can learn from just one little corner of the internet.
It really is, and I think our listeners are walking away with a lot more than just knowledge about a specific speaker.
I agree.
They're walking away with a framework
Yeah.
for approaching any online purchase
Right.
with confidence and savvy.
And that's what it's all about, empowering yourself to navigate this digital marketplace.
Yes.
And make choices that truly serve you.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with this thought. The next time you're online shopping, remember, it's not just a transaction. It's a conversation. You have a voice.
Yeah.
You have choices. And you have the power to make informed decisions.
Well said, and never underestimate the power of a well-informed consumer. Happy shopping, everyone.